Good morning, everyone. Alessandro Piovesan here from the silo at the magnificent Hunt Hill Farm. Yes, it is magnificent indeed. And you gotta come here to see it, to feel it, to experience. What you see right there is the world's most famous Steinway piano ever built. Played by so many names that I don't recognize, like Rachmaninoff, Grafman, Horowitz, and some that I do, like Elton John, John Lennon, Queen, Billy Joe. Every day we find some new stuff, and the history is just amazing. And one day I want to share with you. In the meantime, the most important question of the day: how are you feeling? Are you ready? Are you inspired, enthusiastic, committed to make today the best day of your life? All right, slowly we get there. If it's a process, and we must be able to dedicate the time, the effort, keep moving forward. In my opinion, we only fail if we stop trying. And if you really want it, if you're really committed to better yourself, to live the best life you can get there. Not easy, sometimes even feels unattainable. But with the right tools and the right mindset, you can definitely get there. And I can say that because I'm here. And I thought I would never, ever be able to get out of the hole I was, the horrible life I was living. But with help, love, kindness, and the support of a stranger committed to helping others and making positive changes in the world, it saved my life. It was one gesture, a random act of kindness and solidarity from a stranger. And it's not any stranger. It is a guy that I was trying to steal the stereo in his car. And I was willing to harm him that night if he said or done the wrong things, right? The wrong things. Yeah, life is fantabulous. For example, during the process since we moved here, we met a lot of people, and we connected with some, those nice people that you meet, but then you don't have a fluid connection all the time, but you cross paths and there's all that cool energy, and you continue the relationship on Facebook and same stuff. Well, yesterday after the live I was doing here, and I saw that there was a live from one of the people that I met here at one of the barbecues, and we became acquaintances. I am closer to her husband, but I did not know that she had such a a challenge rich life, similar to mine in the sense of a lot of hardship, a lot of stuff. But one thing that I find interesting, for example, me and Hamilton, right? We have total different upbringings, total, completely different. But the core of our stories, with the suffering, the stigma, the shame, the discrimination, the depressions, and all that stuff, is pretty much the same. But the story is different. And yesterday, when I saw the live and the book that Valerie Walsh wrote called Shattered to the Core, I just ordered the book, so it should arrive today, or tomorrow, hopefully. I want to read through, because my God, she went through so much, from depression to double preventive mastectomy, from her mother's suicide, and then cancer, and oh my God, and doctors telling her that she could not, go back and exercise again, or do the things that moves her life. And she's thriving, she's happy, she's funny. Watch her life; it's just awesome, and it's right here, right? in Milford, close to us, and I had no idea because you see, healthy, balanced people moving around and stuff, and the first thing you think, oh, look, they had an easy life, they had it good, right? And we have no idea of what people go through in their lives to be here today. We assume so many things, and we just take it for granted certain other things. But usually, when we see somebody doing well, the first thing we think is that, his life is great. Look, his living is awesome. He's got everything. He does everything. He's always smiling, doing things. But the truth is that when you are able to process all this information, when you are able to understand how your mind works and deal with all the challenges and all the hardship and everything that comes piling on you, once you're able to process all this without getting desperate or freaking out or staying in the driving victim podium for too long, or even stuck in a survival mode for too long, once you're able to process all this and understand who you are, your strengths, your powers, everything becomes manageable in a sense of looking at the storm coming at you and figuring out how you build a shelter, where do you hide best, what to do, how you protect yourself, because you have been through so much and able to process all that and create your recipes to make sure that once you are able to understand that your life is awesome and your living is entirely up to you. So you can choose to make it horrible or awesome. It's within your powers, it's within who you are. But sometimes we're a little lost and surrounded by the wrong people that brings that wrong energy that encapsulates you and end up contributing for a not so pleasing, understanding, loving, liking living. Because your life is still the same if you're surrounded by, encapsulated by evil, by darkness, by crap, or if you're encapsulated by good people, by love, peace, happiness. Life is the same. The way you choose to live it and how is what's going to make the difference. Myself, I used many times the justifications that my life is crap, everything is hard, everything is difficult, so I'm going to do crap, and life sucks. I was there for so long. Fast forward many years, life changed, things are getting better, my living is okay. I started a project, and things were going all right. But again, I still need tools to help me stay focused, to help me stay on the path, right? To make sure that every day is the best day of my life. How do you achieve that? It has to be a mindset. It's not because it's raining diamonds, or you know what I'm saying? Not things that you can. I don't think that happiness or fulfillment is based on materialistic things. I believe, I feel it is here. Your mindset. As I said, when I wake up in the morning, I am extremely happy because I am alive. And I'm giving another opportunity to make today the best day of my life. This is how I wake up every day. When I open my eyes, I may have pain. I have a lot of pain and sore because I was moving stuff and cleaning up. But it's good. It's good to be alive. It's good to be here. And it's good to be able to try again. In the process of not getting lost, in 2003, I started putting together. Um, I would write a thought every morning. I wake up, and depending how I felt, I would put together, a thought as soon as I wake up and write my thought of the day. I wrote hundreds of them, organized them in a little book, And when the project fell apart, I left the project on the side. The other day I found. So I'm going to read my thought of the day today, which is interesting. And I elaborate on how I was feeling in that day. I don't remember exactly how I was feeling that day, but I know the thought and the direction it's going because, again, it's my truth, it's my life. I don't talk or elaborate on other people's lives because I must own my truth to make it relevant to what's going on. So here we go. He says, practice peace in your daily lives, and your world will be better. Never become a person incapable of commanding or accepting acts of goodness, positive energies, and caring words. We desperately need to develop a devotion to peace. Remember, we have the power to improve the quality of life in the world around us. Wow. But you have to also remember that this was coming from a guy who used to resort to extreme violence to solve conflicts. I used to be extremely uh, violent, ungrateful, and incapable of even accepting the proper help or the feelings and the gestures that you were looking for in your life when you're out on the streets and you're feeling ugh, you wanted somebody to come and cuddle you and not take advantage of you. But at the same time, when you find you're so covered in skepticism and you've been abused so many times and deceived so many times that you end up becoming, I don't want to say incapable, but unwilling to believe that this time is true. We end up judging everyone by the exact same actions of the previous person that hurt you. And when this hurt happens repetitively, it simply becomes your truth, becomes your reality. So from that point on, anyone that comes, even with good intentions, you're just not willing to take the risk of trying to accept something you believe is true, but at the end of the day, it's the same crap that's been happening over and over and over. It's a cycle. It's complicated. It's all here in the head. But for some reason, that night at the airport, when I was trying to steal a stereo in a car, maybe I was too focused on the stealing part or fantasizing too much in my head that once he invited me to go have a hot dog and put me in his car, I would now steal the car and the wallet and the watch and nobody watching. You know what I'm saying? Those are the thoughts that were going to my head because I was thinking, this guy is another guy that comes with the whole thing. I'm going to help you. Let's go have a hot dog. And at the end of the night, he's on top of me in a bedroom, try to share God's love. But that's what happened to me many, many, many times. So I was willing to harm him. I was just waiting for the time where I would be able to account for everything I was going to be able to take from him. And then I was going to hurt him. Simple as that. But for some reason that night, that man was able to plant a seed in my head or in my heart or somewhere that made me wake up for a bit of a second and accept his help, accept his love, accept his kindness and solidarity. I don't know why. I was tired. I've been, trying to end it all for a long time. I can't explain. All I can say is that without that moment, without my willingness to try, I would most likely not be here anymore. At that time, the life expectancy of a child on the streets of Rio was 3 years. So I was on my fourth year as a street kid. I was really bummed out. I was really cooked. And there was just darkness around me, a lot of it in me, because I was willing to share it. And this man touched my heart and changed my life. So I believe that being able to accept, to listen with an open mind and an open heart, with that willingness to really make our lives better, will make the difference. Sometimes we're too lost. Sometimes we're just too confused to really stop and pay attention at what's going on, besides the bad stuff that we have to deal with. If you're feeling this way, you're lost from yourself, from who you are, it doesn't matter if it's because you're falling into the depths of darkness or lights shining on your success. You can feel lost, you can be lost, you can distance yourself from who you are. At this point, what I do and what I think you could do is to come back home. The home for me is here, is inside of yourself, where you know who you are, you know your strengths, you know your powers. You might not realize, but once you come back home in this place where it's just you and yourself, you can start opening, I call them the reserve buckets, where I save all my past happy moments and achievements, where I save all the super hard times when I thought, not gonna happen. Then the stinky one. The stinky one is making sure that I don't forget that I contributed to the quality of the living I was having. All the bad stuff, the bad crap. You can't pretend you never done it. That's why you need to come home and connect with yourself and understand that certain things that you have done are not right. It doesn't matter the justification you want to use. It's simply not right, and you're going to pay that price. Well, once you're there, open the happy moments box. Find one, two little specks of happiness that happened in your life that gave you that taste of what happiness looks like and tastes like. So you've been happy. Remember, it doesn't matter how big, you've been happy. Then open the challenges, the achievements, the impossible moments box. Go to those moments because I'm sure you've been there. It's too much for me. I'm not going to make it. I can't handle. I can't do it. Oh my God, it's not going to happen. And here you are. You, I only call it survival. You might call somebody else or something else, right? But you're here. Doesn't matter. You are here. Maybe you're not aware that you have the power, the strength, the willingness. When the shit hits the fan, you fly. Then switch over and open the stinky stuff. Take a dip, woof, remember, ugh. Because we're all capable of doing awesome things and horrible things. It's a matter of circumstances. But it doesn't justify what you have done, and assuming that you're going to have to pay the price for it. But once you're aware that, yes, I've been happy and I know how it tastes. Yes, I've been challenged. I thought I wasn't going to make it, but I did it. And then, yes, I screwed up. So I'm paying for it. Make a calculation in your head of things that could be going right and are going wrong and why, and then attribute some of the prices that you should be paying for the stuff you've done in the past. Once you reconnect with yourself, come back here, come back to the world, and go after the best living ever for this beautiful gift of life that you received. Now, if you're willing to use some tools that can help you um, tune your brain, tools that can help you make the necessary adjustments in your mind so you can keep going towards the thriving life that you deserve. We're starting this workshop on the 26th of February. It is the experiential workshop series of Silo, starting with Survivor to Thriver, tools to get us unstuck. You will hear stories like mine, like him, like Valerie. Yeah, of course, I invited Valerie to participate, to be a guest speaker in one of our workshops. Whew. And you hear stories that sound unbelievable, but yet you will see the people there thriving today, and they're going to tell you how and why they did it. But we all call it survival. Then, professionals in the area of brain tuning, right, neuroplasticity, will be sharing tools and explanations of what happened in our heads when, let's say, society determined that certain things should happen. Right? A kid on the streets of Rio will live 3 years, and there I am living 4 years, and then being saved and accepting the help and moving. What have I done in my brains to, instead of following that path, that I should be dead in 3 years living on the streets? What made me change? I call I don't want to die survival mode. They call it neuroplasticity of the brain. This is all free of charge. You can go to the website, workshop.thesilo.org, register, pick the date for February or March. As soon as February is full, we're going to release April. And take advantage. Come learn something new about your abilities to control this big brain of yours and really achieve the best living for your life because you deserve it. And thanks to the professionals, they're all volunteering their time and their expertise to help us. And Healthcare Advocates International from Stratford. So we'll provide you food, an awesome time, and hopefully tools that you can take home and really, really, really apply towards living the best life ever. Because you deserve it. You totally do. Fantabulous. Well, and if you are by any chance interested in developing a deeper connection with Mother Nature or finding a peaceful place where you can just be with yourself, enjoying the birds and the views, or to learn or see and touch the world's most famous Steinway piano, come to Hunt Hill Farm, come to the silo. If I'm here, I'll be glad to greet you and give you a tour, or just leave you alone if that's what you want. But what I would like to ask is for 1 pound of non-perishable food that will be donating to New for Social Services to help them in their fight to eradicate hunger in our town. And we are also at the same time helping promote the achievement of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We're starting with number 1 and 2, which is eradication of extreme poverty and hunger. This means so much to me because an empty stomach feeds a very, very dangerous mind. And I had one of those. Ay, so many awesome things to share. And I want to thank you so much that have been interacting with me and sending messages and good vibrations because this is my life every day here at the silo and Hill Farm in this process to save this oasis, like Ruth and Speech Henderson's oasis, for the youth, for the community, for cultural and educational opportunities for everybody. But this is a process, is a challenge. It's probably the biggest challenge in my life right now, for many, 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 many years. Because we do have a deadline to raise the necessary funds to keep the dream alive. This is not a reality show with a production crew in the back that in the last 24 seconds of the last quarter of the game is going to show up the magic jack. But you can see it happening every day. And every single day here is going to my bucket of happy moments, super ultra happy moments and super achieving moments. I haven't been depositing anything on the sticky box for many years. And I want to thank you. Thank you for sharing and participating and giving the support that we need through this awesome exchange of positive energies. I know I will ask you to subscribe to my channel. Just visit positivevibrationsalways.org. It's my domain, points to the YouTube. If you hit subscribe and that little bell will let you know when I'm back It'd be awesome. It's really helping me, and we're kind of building this amazing community of like-minded individuals interested in sharing the good stuff. And I will leave you here with an awesome day filled with love, happiness, peace, the ability to accept help, kindness, with tons and tons of positive vibrations always. Thank you.